Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your April 2020 mid-month tarot check. This is for all Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I want to start by thanking all of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, shared, and been watching my videos. I really appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are posted, which is about every week. So I just posted an all signs reading on COVID-19. Somebody asked me to do it. In fact, a few people have asked me to do it, and I wasn't going to. And then yesterday someone asked on one of my readings, and I just felt inspired to do it. So it's a pretty interesting reading. I swear, the cards, I still, even though I've been doing this a long time, I still get surprised sometimes by the messages in the cards. So anyway, check that out if you want to. But here we go. This is for Cancer. It's an April mid-month tarot check for April 2020. All right, here we go. It's Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for all Cancer. All right, your current position is the Page of Cups, and the immediate influence is the Three of Wands. Your destiny here is the Knight, King of Pentacles. In the more distant past, you have the Ace of Swords. The more recent past, the Ten of Wands. And the Four of Swords is the energy coming towards you. You're represented here by the Six of Swords. The people around you are the High Priestess. Your hopes and fears are the Page of Swords, and the outcome is the Knight of Cups. In the bottom of the deck, you've got Temperance here. So you've got here fire, air, water. You've got Sagittarius, you've got Taurus, and Earth. All right, so pretty much all the signs are represented. Yeah, so your current position, you may have had some kind of an offer here. The Page of Cups is also about past relationships. So you may have had people coming back from the past, certainly feeling nostalgic. And I think this stay-at-home order has done that to a lot of people, where I've been seeing it on social media, and I've been reading it for a while. I mean, I've been reading it in the cards for a while, but then just this week, there were people posting things that I went to high school with, which was 25 years ago, things like, hey, look what I found in my closet. And it was things that people had written, 30 years ago. Yeah, so I definitely feel like there's a sense of nostalgia. But again, somebody here too may have a former employer coming back. If that's you, Cancer, you may have somebody that's wondering if you want to come and do some contract work. It's something like that, where they're wondering. But I definitely think you have, like I said, you have an ex who can be coming back, but you also have something in the way of something work-related. The Three of Wands is a hint of progress. So the energy is moving forward, but not at a very fast pace. So again, you may have something where someone contacted you. We're just not in a time right now where things are moving very fast, are they? But there's still a hint of progress there with that Three of Wands. I do feel like you maybe have been waiting for a while, intuitively knowing that something was going to happen, but just not really being clear on when. And the time is now. All right, the time is now. The beginning of it is now. Your destiny is the King of Pentacles. This is a great card to have in this position, because destiny is influenced by our will, but it's our life path. It's our life map. And it's different than fate, because fate implies that you have absolutely no control over anything, and it's just fated. It's just predetermined to happen. With destiny, it's your life course, but you do influence it through your own deliberate creation. So somebody here wants money. Somebody here has a desire for complete financial freedom, and you're destined to have it. That is what this is telling you. You are destined to have financial freedom, to have prosperity, financial abundance. It is in your path. So for those of you that are saying, well, I don't see it in the material plane, because the truth is our thoughts become things. And when you look around yourself, you have manifested the things that are your physical things that are around you. So if that's you, now is the time to start telling yourself money comes easily and frequently. I've always had enough. And even thinking back to, I grew up in a financially destitute family. However, I always had food. I had material things came into my awareness. Was it as much as everyone else? No, but they still happened. I had somewhere to live, things like that. And so I can always see that things were coming towards me, and then momentum grew. And I was able to really, I was able to get a lot of financial stability as an adult that I didn't have. And I look at my own kids who are older, and I had said to one of them yesterday, I said, you've never had to worry about money. And he said, nope, that's facts, because that's how, high school, college kids talk. And I know that's because his dad and I have always had a strong desire for financial freedom. And because of that, he was born into a vibration of financial success. And so he doesn't know any different. But anyway, getting into that for you, Cancer, you definitely have financial success in your destiny. Now, I mentioned an ex or a former job coming back, and this is in the more distant past. You definitely separated to go on to a new opportunity. You may have broken up with somebody to date somebody else. That it wasn't that you cheated on them, but somebody caught your eye, and it didn't end up lasting. And things just went how they were going to go. It may be too for some of you, if it was a long, long time ago, that you actually were married to other people and went through divorces, and somebody's coming back around. And I've seen that happen, and I've seen it work really well, where it really is somebody from a long time ago. And, I think everybody knows that story. They get married, and it's like they end up in their 90s together. So for somebody, that's definitely in their energy field. Now, the more recent past, you've been working hard. You have been working from home. You've been holding down the fort. You've been putting forth a lot of effort, and people notice it, but the burden is going to be eased. You are actually going to put yourself, I think, on a timeout of sorts, where you're going to say, okay, I put in as much as I can put in. I've done as much as I can do. And at this point, I need to just get off the gas just a little bit and ease up. Because that gets to be tiring when you're at that rate for that long. Now here you have the Four of Swords. And again, this can be about self-help, self-healing, but it's also a time of quieting down. So your guidance here is in the next couple of weeks to make sure that you are slowing down a little bit. Take time for yourself. And I know that seems ironic in a world that's basically been stopped on its axis. What do you mean, slow down? I'm ready to get back into things. Well, for the time being, it may be prudent just to focus on yourself a little bit. We keep things running, but we don't have to we don't have to bake for 10 hours a day and things like that. Now, if you see a bit of a flash of something, I have a dog here that's walking around. I don't normally have them out when I'm reading, but I just didn't want you to wonder, is that an apparition walking behind her? What is that? No, it's a standard poodle. You're represented here by the Six of Swords, and this is about moving forward. So again, I do feel like for those of you that have something coming back around, whether it's a job or a relationship, you are going to move forward with it, but you're going to leave, your job, your mission here is to leave the baggage behind. Because right now, she's moving forward, but she's got some baggage with her. And so, if you have a trusted resource, someone who, not a lot of people, somebody very trustworthy, to help you kind of talk through this and to help you be aligned with your own source, that would be a good person to go to, having that guidance. If it's a therapist, if it's, some kind of even a spiritual mentor. Now, the person and the environment around you is the High Priestess. And this card comes when it's suggesting you need to trust yourself. So, this person has, I think, hidden feelings for you, where they have not been fully transparent. Again, with the job stuff, I don't know that it was, anything hidden necessarily. And I feel like they almost are getting clarity on what they need to do next. I don't think there's anything dishonest there with the job stuff, but I do think they aren't quite sure what they're doing. So that may be something to take under advisement if it feels like it. The other thing is, like I said, it's a time to trust yourself. It's earth energy, but, specifically Taurus. And, this is a time where you're going to be able to figure this person out. If there were things from the past that seemed just like things weren't quite as they seemed, that's going to come out, whether it's like this person had an addiction and they were hiding something at the time, and part of why the relationship ended for somebody was that this person had an addiction and they did not want to be forthright with it. And now they're going to come forward and they've worked on themselves. They've gone through a 12-step program. They've gotten the addiction at bay, and they understand that to keep it at bay is a day at a time. They get that. They know that. And this is somebody that's stable in their recovery. This is not somebody who's, hanging on to recovery by their fingernails, for whoever this resonates for. So if you dated somebody, they come back around and they'd previously not been forthright. Like, I'm getting pills maybe for somebody like oxycodone or something like that, where they were using things, abusing things, and not, they were greasy, they were shifty, they were slippery. And so I do think the truth will come out about why that ended. I think your greatest fear here is just having instability. You want structure, you want stability, you want a love and a mature relationship. And the same thing with the job. Now, the job, I think, in terms of, whether it be finances or job, is going to be very stable. So those fears can be put at rest, even though I know there's a lot of uncertainty at this time. So your outcome here is this Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups brings a big offer. There's a stable long-term commitment here. There is a stable long-term commitment with work and love coming towards you. And so it's possible that, within this next couple of weeks, you'll have some kind of communication that allows you to see the beginning of it. It's not like it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks where, you're moving in with someone. It's not quite like that, but the energy is moving you towards this for sure. So certainly, if you're single right now, within the next year, you could certainly be, within the next, not even year, within the next couple months, be in something where you're in a committed relationship for sure. So let's do our Abraham Hicks Money and the Law of Attraction card here. Welcome to planet Earth. You are here to seek joy. If we were talking to you on your first day here, we would say, welcome to planet Earth. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And your work here, your lifetime career, is to seek joy. As you think thoughts that feel good to you, you will be in harmony with who you really are. And in doing so, you will utilize your profound freedom. Seek joy first, and all of the growth that you could ever imagine will come joyously and abundantly unto you. And for your Whispers of Love Oracle card, relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. Okay, so if you have an old pattern, like I said, with the Six of Swords, it's going to be time to step out of that pattern. And really, if you know yourself, if you have self-knowledge, you know the universe. So I love you so much, Cancer, and thank you for joining me, and I will be back again in about a week.